yeah, it's a pretty special part of the world, I must say. Good morning. It is a beautiful sunny morning, winter's morning, cold, but the sun's shining, so it's very nice outside, unlike yesterday. So I'm currently driving up to the mechanic to pick up the mechanic number plates that he's got. So the mechanics get a special dealer plate that he's able to use on cars that don't have registration, etc., etc. So I'm going to pick them up now and then bring them back to put on the Volvo to then drive back up to him a little bit later this afternoon. So get the wheel bearings swapped over today, which is fantastic. And then that should give us enough time to figure out whether that's actually the problem or not. So then we've still got Monday. If it is tie rods, control arm, etc., etc., we've at least got Monday to get that sorted out. And also a little bit of time on Tuesday morning, but I'd rather not be stressing out on Tuesday morning. So looking forward to having all the issues rectified, and then we can work on giving it a service, and then because I think it's long overdue for a service, and then we can look at taking it on a test tour. I'd like to do that first before we go and do this massive tour. I mean, the big road trip is not going to be until the latter half of the first half of the year. So, yeah, I've had recommendations of sort of March, April, but I reckon that might be a little bit too soon. I need to build some finances first before that happens. So, that's kind of where we're at the moment. I'm going to make a video today of the servicing and everything like that. So, I'll show you now where we are. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to, once we've got the Volvo registered, I'm going to take the Volvo on a couple of tours around the area where we live, just to show how beautiful some of these roads are. There's some really, really nice spots around here. When the weather's nice, it's absolutely, it's amazing. They're amazing driving roads. So we've now just crossed over into France, and this road actually crosses into France and then back into Switzerland about, I think it's about 4 or 5 times just on the one road. So that's pretty cool to do, being from Australia and not having international borders anywhere near you. In fact, there's no international borders in Australia at all. It's quite fascinating driving down a street or driving down a road and crossing in and out of 2 countries like numerous times is quite astonishing. And I have put a couple of videos on before, or one video on before, that has showed that I've needed to drive through France to get to work from Switzerland, which is also quite interesting. Like, we would go shop, like yesterday, went shopping in Germany for, well, I didn't go shopping, but I went and picked up the mail from Germany, and like, we would go shopping in Germany for food and stuff like that because it's a lot cheaper. and you can also go shopping in France because it's a lot cheaper. And yeah, it's a pretty special part of the world, I must say.
Sie nehmen nur 100 Franken.
Die Auto nicht. Auch wenn es Schlüssel in ist.
Ja.
Hey, bis später.
Ja.
Merci. So we are now on our way to the mechanic to finally get this issue fixed. Well, to replace the wheel bearings at least. Whether that's going to 100% fix the issue or not is another question, but I am confident. So we're just gonna have to wait and see, I suppose. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I mean, if it's not this issue, what we're going to do is we'll change over the front right bearing first, because that is where most of the movement was coming from. Well, that wheel had more movement than the front left wheel. So we will do that first. And then if it fixes it, then we know we've obviously we know that we've found the right solution. But hopefully I'm 50-50 with the research that I was doing yesterday, because of the direction of the movement, which is 9 to 3, and there's no noise when I drive or steer. I'm hoping it's not an axle or a ball joint or something something that we don't have the part to replace. That's what we're just gonna have to wait and see, because as I keep telling everyone, the re-inspection is on Tuesday morning at 20 to 12. So we don't leave ourselves a lot of time. If obviously the wheel bearings took like 4 days to arrive. So that would mean that we would definitely have to order from a Swiss supplier, which would probably end up costing the same as what the car cost if we bought all the materials from there. But let's see. Diese Brett, brauchst du das nicht am Boden, oder? Nochmal. Ab. Ja, eben.
Letztes Mal habe ich überlegt, Scherenlift wäre vielleicht doch besser.
Ja. Ich glaube, hinten ist ein bisschen zu weit raus. Also die das ich gemacht hat. So, more bad news. So we changed one bearing over, and we've come to the conclusion that it's not actually the wheel bearings. It is the steering. I don't know what it is in English, but it's called a Lenkgetriebe. I will do a translation when I'm not driving, but yes, it's the Lenkgetriebe, which is basically the where the axle where the front axle, the steering rack, basically the steering rack axle, or the steering tie rod or whatever it is. We think it's that, the internal part of that part, which is going to be an absolute nightmare to repair. Well, it's not going to be a nightmare to repair. It's just we've only got until Tuesday, and they're relatively expensive parts. We found a couple on eBay again for, they were around about, I think 170, 200 euros. So yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of a research over the weekend and see what I can come up with. I mean, I've only got tomorrow now, but obviously the test is on Tuesday, so I'm going to have to come up with something pretty quick and see if we can sort this out by Tuesday. Otherwise, what I'm going to do, actually, is it 31st of January? So yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday is the MFK. or the test inspection. So that means that I'm going to have to try and figure out some sort of way that I can at least dull the play, or see if there's any sort of adjustments I can do, and then I'm just going to try and go through the test again, I think, and then see how that goes, because the mechanic says that sometimes what happens is you go to do a secondary inspection, like it's an inspection, but they only inspect the things that have come back bad on the original inspection, so they don't do a full-blown inspection. So it's like a small, they just look over what has been on the list. So maybe he's told me that you can sometimes get people that didn't do the test before. Yeah, he might have a different approach at it. He might not think that there's too much play. I've got the parts in here, so he'll see that we've done and changed the parts. So yeah, who knows. I really wasn't overly confident today. And I was suspecting that it wasn't going to be the bearings, because it was only moving in one direction, which was obviously the steering direction. So yeah, it's a sticky situation, but still, we are, if it's just this thing that needs to be repaired, and everything else on the car is working absolutely perfectly. So I'm not, so basically my mechanic was saying that it is, at the very beginning, he was saying that if it's this part, it's going to be like, you're looking at paying probably $600 for a part. And I was like, fuck. But then we had a quick look over eBay to see if we could find some alternative options, and yeah, we found these particular brands that were much cheaper. So yeah, I'm confident that we're going to be able to get it sorted out. I don't think that the car's going to be registered on Tuesday next week. I've got very low expectations for the test, but I'm just going to go and do it anyway, just to try, and then we'll see how we go. So if you're enjoying the videos, and you are excited to see the Volvo get through the inspections and pass the inspections, then please make sure you hit the subscribe button to follow along. Make sure to comment on my videos, like the videos, share them around to any friends that might be interested in watching them. So yeah, I'll give you another update tomorrow. Cheers.